Okay, just a quick update. Taking some time, gone through and stripped the rest of the tub. Spent one glorious full day just fixing broken bolts and extracting them from their frozen state. The tub is cleaned out. I cut out the rear seat support so I could start the bracing. I've documented the position of those two pump brackets for the top, and that's my next step. I'm going to pull those, get them out of the chassis, and can't seem to find those anywhere, so I'll blast those and preserve them. So yeah, we're back at this stage. I have a new theory on this right here. This nonsense where somebody just beat that to death. All right, here's my theory. This was apparently done in Oklahoma, as far as I can tell, and my theory is they were trying to hide a nitrous oxide bottle in there. And so, not only they're butchers, they're cheating butchers. So that was kind of, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Anyway, the next step after I get these out, got some metal coming, and we're gonna totally brace up this tub, get it completely stabilized so it can't move. We got a lot of good interior metal here to work with, so that shouldn't be a problem. And of course everything, all the tubs, floors, and firewall are coming out anyway, so once it's all braced up, we'll start cutting that, and we'll take you along for that. Yeah, just that's it. Quick update for today. Thank you. Well, I was looking over the car after I cut out the rear pump supports, documented those thoroughly so they can be put back in the exact same place. But I was looking around and I noticed this. This is a problem. It's somebody apparently, and I don't know why I didn't notice this before, but somebody had hack and whacked that dash pretty good. Looks like they were, trying to fit in a more modern radio or whatever. But that is now a situation where probably the smartest play at this point is just to replace that dash panel. It's not particularly rusty, I think that's going to be a deal killer right there. So why not start with a fresh one? You can buy the dash panel with the upper panel and the lower panel all put together, which I need the upper panel anyway because of the typical rust issues you saw with these cars. They always tended to rust right here in the corner on that dash panel. See if I can get the camera on it. Yeah, so right there in that corner, it's very typical. I mean, the moisture inside the window runs down, hits that corner, and rots it out. It looks like there's a little bit of a punky spot right there in the middle too. So either way, we'll sort that out, get that replaced. But the reason I found this was I was kind of just giving it a little once-over, trying to figure out where I was going to put my cross braces. Now back here, it's pretty easy, right? I'll cross brace between that convertible brace that you see there, and probably closer up towards the top, cross brace the back. That's fine. Cross brace in the front with that dash in is going to be a bit of a tangle. So I decided that probably the smart play was to take it right out, and that's when I noticed, and I don't know how I missed it, but that's when I noticed that mess there. So anyway, that's the new plan. Gonna pull that dash out, prepare for the cross bracing. I did get that's part of my steel order. Rest of it's in the other bay. But I got the steel order to do the cross bracing. One of the first things I'm gonna do is build just a bar that rides underneath the rocker panel and is supported on the front fender hole back to the rear of the rocker panel. And I'm going to use that to support the car while I'm working, when I have to lift it up and down to take the floor out and all of that. That way the floor area is unrestricted, because right now my lift feet are literally right where the floor is. So to raise and lower the body, I have to have some different points. So I thought about putting some outriggers coming out through the door from the tub bracing, but then, the more I thought about it, the more that's just going to be in the way to put the doors back on. So ultimately I came up with, I'm just going to put some braces underneath. Those will be great points for leveling it. Once I get the screw jacks under it, then I can level it all up before I do the cross bracing, the tub bracing, and make all of that happen at the same time. So, sometimes you just got to think this stuff through, start to finish, and, work out the method. So that's where we're at right now. I'll bring you guys back after I get some more of this stuff stripped out so you can have a look. So I pulled the dash out, and I'm gonna hang on to the old one until I understand what comes with the new one. Maybe somebody out there knows, it would be very helpful, but this little brace right here, it runs along the bottom. I'm hoping the new one comes with that. Otherwise, I've got to try to peel that out of there. As well as the brackets that hold it to the side. So I've got to figure that out, do a little research on that, try to understand it a bit more. But as is always the case, there's a little surprise, or I guess it's not really a surprise, but the upper cowl is pretty thin. The lower cowl is pretty bad. So I'm kind of at a point where I've either got to, now the dash comes down to this line here. So, and it's decent from there down. So I'm at a point where I've got to figure out, am I going to try to fabricate and patch that, or replace the upper and lower cowl? Could go either way. Got to research it a bit more, see what other good solutions are out there. Be nice if they made just a patch panel for that, but I haven't seen one, so I kind of doubt it. But yeah, that's where we're at. More to come. Okay, let me show you what we're into here. So I need a way to lift the car up without being on the frame or the floor or anything else, because this whole floor is coming out, right? So, typically you'd get the little pinch blocks, which I have, and put them around the pinch weld and just lift the car. But unfortunately, to do that, you are looking at, that's where the floor mounts. So that's all gotta be available to me to pull all this out. So what I did was set up some little outrigger bracing. I took some 2x2 stock, first leveled the rocker panel as close as I could possibly get it. Put this piece of 2x2 stock up in there, leveled that up. There is a little flat spot in the back of the rocker right here. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's right here. All right, so this is actually level. This is not. So what I did was I set up the 2x2 to run on this edge, but residing mostly on this level point, so that I can get it on there flat and square and everything else. Then I just paralleled it to that seam. In the front, I just used the fender bolt. So I put a bolt up through there, made a little bracket, and this will allow me to lift the body up and down with the lift. It can also be used to set it on the ground when I level everything up to do the internal cribbing, the internal bracing. So that's what I'm into. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I packed it, everything's lined up, level, perfect. I'm going to take it down and weld it up. I'm also going to probably throw some gussets in these pieces of angle iron here so that there's no opportunity for this to do anything wonky on me. And yeah, so that's about it. I'll bring you back when I've got it all welded up and ready to go back up in. Okay, this is the driver's side, there's a little tang there to tack it on with a gusset. I can't put this one in yet because I have a broken nut right here, came out. And I tried to remove the welded in bolt, or might as well have been welded in. This side's in. You can see what I'm going for here. And these support rails now will allow me to set this on the ground and use screw stands to level it up precisely without much trouble at all. And that will allow me to lift it and not worry about tweaking the body. That should do it. Again, I'll put this one in tomorrow after the rivet nuts show up. It's the only way I can figure to put that back in. And then once that's done, we can start dismantling this front and rear and taking the floor out. So yeah, that's it for now.